Good afternoon, YouTube. It has been a while since I have posted anything, and that is because, well, I'm in college and I am busy as can be, but I am still on the grind, doing as I normally do. And I figured that I'm going to make a little something today because I'm going to the grocery store right now, and I'm going to buy some tilapia, and I'm going to teach you guys how to bulk cook tilapia because it is such a good source of protein. It tastes good, and you know, eating chicken and turkey all the time can get boring, so you want to throw things in like fish, steak, etc. You know, some of those staples. But I'm going to teach you today what I do to bulk cook my tilapia. Alrighty, I'm back from the grocery store now, and I've got my tilapia fillets here. So I always pick out like a bigger size bag. This is it doesn't say family size bag, but it was the cheapest option, and it's 2 pounds worth. So for me, this is gonna be a lot of food. Probably last me a whole week, if not a little bit more. This costed me $6.99, so $7, and it's gonna last you a whole week worth of meals. Alrighty, so we are taking the fillets out of the bag now, and each one of the fillets, I'll show you here. Each one of the fillets are going to be wrapped in a little piece of paper like this, and we are going to put that directly into this hot bowl of water here. So I let that run to make sure it got nice and hot, and I'm just going to set them right in there. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fillets right there. So 9 fillets for $6, $7. That is pretty darn good as far as price goes. So it's very affordable on a college budget, especially for me. And I'm gonna let those sit in there just like this, and then I'm gonna change out that water every, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, because it's gonna get cold because the fish are they're icy, I guess you could say. And so every 2-3 minutes we'll change out the water, that way that it's going to thaw out a little bit faster, and within probably 15 minutes, I'd say, they'll be ready to go, and we'll put on the skillet. So by this point, I've already changed the water about 2 to 3 times, and the fish are starting to get a little bit softer, so they're starting to thaw out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each individual one, I'm going to take them out of the little plastic wrapping they have here. So I'm just going to cut open the fish here, and then I'm going to put them back in the water. I'm going to let them soak for even longer, so just bear with me here. Alright, so all the fish is now opened out of their bags, and the water is still hot, so I'm going to leave that in there probably about 5 more minutes. And then basically, you know when they're done, when you can touch them, and obviously they're not cold anymore, and they're pretty flimsy. And I'll show you what I mean when they're officially done. Alrighty guys, the fish is now thawed out, and it is still a little bit of hot water there, just because as I'm cooking it, I'm going to continue to leave it in the water. And basically I'm going to go about 3 to 4 fillets at a time, and it's going to go into this skillet, and the heat is now on. I'm letting it preheat a little bit, and before we start putting the tilapia on it, I'm going to show you a couple things that you need. And you need some olive oil cooking spray. I use Pam so the fish doesn't get stuck to the bottom, because with tilapia it's easy, it like flakes off, so if you don't have the slick surface, that'll become an issue with that. And a few different spices I use. It's got lemon pepper, garlic salt, parsley, Cajun, and I'll use salt and pepper sometimes in there, and I will use a combination of stuff. So when you're cooking tilapia, I use a pretty wide spatula because it's easier to scoop up under them and flip them over easier without them breaking apart and becoming a mess, really. So I'm just going to take them right out of the bowl here, drain, set it down. I can't get enough. And since I have a bigger pan, I'm going to go 4 fillets at once, but if you have a smaller one, you can do 3. That is totally fine as well. And last one, so we got 4 going on right now. And now I'm going to put on the seasonings here. We'll go with Cajun. Throw some of that on there. Throw some garlic salt on. parsley. And then if you want, throw your salt and pepper on there too, or whatever else you desire for your taste on that. And now we're gonna put a lid on this guy, which is gonna be right here. Put the lid on that, and we're gonna let that sit right there for about, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes or so. Yeah, I'd say closer to 3 minutes. And we're gonna take the spatula, flip it under, and give it on the other side for about the same amount of time. Also, something to know is the heat. I put it right about 5 or 6 out of 10, so right about medium heat. All right, so I'm gonna show you kind of like the technique on doing this. When you're coming up on the first 2 minutes, you want to kind of be gentle with the fish because they'll break apart easily. Just kind of want to get it so it's unstuck from the bottom. And from here, we're going to go ahead and get under it fully first. Now that they're flipped, I'm going to season the other side and do the same thing, about 2 to 3 minutes on the other side as well. I did the same process. I flipped it one more time, and now they are looking like this. So they're pretty crispy at this point. Personally, I like them when they're a little crispier. And basically, to tell if they're done or not, you just take the spatula that you have, and you can kind of like just poke it a little bit, and you see how that flaked off really easily. And that's that'll tell you right there that it's ready to be off the skillet. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off right now, and we're just gonna set that on a plate over here. And that's going to hang out there and cool off. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the rest of this fish and do the exact same process. So we'll put 3 to 4 in there, and we'll cook those, and then we'll finish them all up. And alrighty, so the second batch is now just finishing up. And I don't know if I said, but overall, it takes about, I'd say, from 5 to 8 minutes roughly to cook these tilapia. From when they're thawed out. So if they're frozen, I don't really ever cook it when they're frozen because this makes it more difficult. But about 5 to 8 minutes, no more than 10 minutes to cook out this entire batch. I'm going to show you how much fish this is for me. And this whole process between thawing it out, cooking it, spicing it, took no more than 30, 45 minutes at tops. And I've got an entire full plate worth of food, tilapia. And like I said, that'll last me a full week. So it'll last you a week and probably more, to be honest, because I have a large portion for each one of my meals. So that's pretty much it, and that's going to wrap this up. I do want to say, if you have not already, go ahead, please click the subscribe button. Go ahead and drop a like on this video, and feel free to comment below on any other suggestions that you would like to see, whether it be other types of food. I'm thinking about doing turkey burgers because I love doing turkey burgers, and then talking about toppings that I put on it on the side. And then if you have any other suggestions on future videos, please let me know.